It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday. It's Friday again, it's Friday, Sunday. It's Friday again.
Are you ready?
Helping people who are living and working in Spain. It's the right way with David Wright.
A very good afternoon and welcome to The Right Way with me, David Wright, Almeria Radio 107.5 FM. Well, it's almost a weekend. It's Friday. Did you get that red rain? Everywhere's rotten with that red rain at the moment. The swimming pool is taking a real beating here. Okay, got a special guest in the show today. I've got Paul from Indalo Transport. He's going to give us some tips and advice on moving to Spain. Loads more tips and advice as well, and some news about the visas, regulations, rules, all that coming up a little bit later on the show after a bit of Rod Stewart. Bit of Rod Stewart kicking this off there. Yeah, so my pool is completely trashed. Even with my new robot working overtime, it's still going to have some hard work getting that dust out. It's awful here in Almeria, and it looks like it's here for the next couple of days according to the weather forecast. So yeah, did try and do a bit of a wash down this morning, but I think I'm going to leave it till after the weekend. Okay, so more tips and advice on living and working in Spain, and I've got a very special guest here in the studio with me. I've got Paul Burt from Indalo Transport and Storage. Hi Paul, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, David.
Good, Paul. So we were talking earlier, Paul, about somebody said to me about boxing up their stuff to come over to Spain, and they said they had to put all the weight and the value on the boxes, on each individual boxes, and you were telling me about that, saying that you've got to be careful about the value you put on each box. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, basically, if people try to move themselves, you need... It's always better to use a removal company, I'm about to say that, but if you're moving yourself, there are certain things you've got to do, and you do need to provide lists of items, what's in boxes, and a list of values as well. People very often fall foul of the fact that they put values on boxes of replacement costs, and you will get stopped by customs, and you will end up with a tax bill for that, and that's the problem with putting the values on. Weights and things like that, weights aren't that important, as long as you can lift the box is fine. But certainly we do need to know, and customs need to know, the contents of each and every box. Yeah,
so, and if you've got a value there, if it's something sentimental you want to put down, that it's not really worth that much to get a lower tax bill, is that right?
Absolutely right. I mean, we do the customs declarations when we bring people in. You should always do a customs declaration anyway, otherwise you're smuggling. But when we bring goods into Spain, we've got pre-agreed prices, pre-agreed values that we do, and they've all been accepted by the Spanish taxman.
Good. Okay, and Paul, I've got a tune for you. It's The Big Country. I think this is a favourite of yours, is that right?
It is. It's Big Country. It's from the 1980s by Big Country, and there's a lyric in it which says, I'm not expected to grow flowers in the desert, just to live and breathe and see the sun in winter time. It reminds me of Spain.
Brilliant. That's Big Country, One Great Thing. Not the one that Paul wanted originally, but I've lined that up now for a little bit later on the show. And so Paul here from Indalo Transport in the studio with me, giving tips and advice on moving to Spain. And hi everyone, and joining me in the comment section, Robbie. Hi Sylvia, how you doing? I've got your friend here in the studio with me today. And Guy, Robbie, John Alex, thanks John, a great show this afternoon. I did listen in, mate. And Declan, hi Declan, welcome to the show. Yeah, there's a question about transport, flights, no direct flights. If you're looking for a flight to Almeria from the UK and there's a stop included, that's normally because it's a really, really cheap flight. It's not always the best way to go. There is some direct flights from the southern airports in the UK, like Gatwick, straight to Almeria. But there's Malaga are doing 5 flights a day now, and Ryanair coming into Murcia as well. Remember, this year, Ryanair have taken on 30 new aircraft, and they've been granted some new routes. So there's loads more flights coming in to Spain this year. Also, I was talking to Paul earlier, and we're talking about people moving to Spain, and a lot of people are moving here at the moment, Paul, because of the tax year, aren't they? Is that right?
Yeah, it seems to be a bit of a rush at the moment. I think it's down to the fact that capital gains tax is payable if you become a tax resident in Spain within the same tax year. So I think a lot of people would have sold their properties last year and maybe in rented accommodation for a few months. 1st of June comes along and people want to get on the move.
Yeah, that's true. And I was in the British Consulate office last week, Alejandro Salvador, and we were doing a little chat there, and he was telling me that he's taken on a couple of extra lawyers for his firm in the Mojaca office just to deal with the extra British coming into Spain this year. So things are booming here. But I've noticed the prices have gone up a lot, especially on materials, but property is going up quite a bit here. So if you're coming to Spain now, you want to get in quick. Okay, so this next one up, this is for Paul as well. This is Paul's choice, and this is entertainment. Any reason why, Paul?
It's by Paul Weller, so it's got to be good. And I just love this. It's from the late 70s, early 80s, and it says everything about Britain at the time then.
Good enough for me, mate.
It's Friday, and that Friday feeling, getting you into the mood for the weekend.
Live.
David Wright.
David.
The Afternoon Show.
So we got my sponsor in the show today, Paul Burt from Indalo Transport and Storage, talking about removals, packaging, things like that. If you've got any questions you want to put to Paul about moving, transport, anything like that, let him have their questions in the comments box now, and I'll put them to Paul straight away. Now, Paul, we're talking about packing up your own stuff. A lot of people want to do it themselves, save some money, which isn't always a good thing, as I've found out in the past. But you were saying don't use bubble wrap. Is that right? Why is that?
Yeah, we're not big fans of bubble wrap. If you're going to wrap crockery, that sort of thing, plates, cups and saucers, dishes, we use paper, print paper, and you wrap it like it's fish and chips. And if you're putting glasses in a box, and if you put them in a box the way they stand on a table, then you've got cushion underneath and you've got cushion on the top, and it's absolutely fine. You'll find that you can fit more in a box. And you'll get less breakages as well. With bubble wrap, people tend to wrap things too tightly, and basically you're squashing things.
Right. And I said that the last couple of moves I've done myself. I've hired a van, as a lot of us have done in the past. It's always a lot of stress. I wish I'd have done it afterwards. It takes twice as long by not paying a professional to do it. And also getting boxes is a real pain, going around to the Chinese shops or back of the restaurants to get these old boxes and stick them all together to try and put your stuff in it. Now, you've got your shop open at your place, and you'll sell all this stuff to the public. Is that right, Paul?
Yeah, the Indalo Storage Warehouse, we've got a self-pack store, and we can get a bit funny about boxes. We handle boxes that are badly packed and not greatly put together by the public, and when we sell a box, it's a proper removals box, and if it's well packed and if it's sealed properly, then you can throw it down a flight of stairs and nothing will break. And that's actually a test that we give our guys when they come to work for us.
Well, the boxes.
Yep.
Test the boxes if they're okay. And right, well, we'll be back with Paul after a bit of David Bisbell. Bell there.
It's Friday, and that Friday feeling, getting you into the mood for the weekend.
Well, I saw a bit of news today, which I thought was quite interesting. Maybe you'll like this, Paul. Drones are going to be used from transporting people. These are passenger drones from Malaga to Marbella as early as next year. And they've already started this month. They're doing some test flights for these drones. So I don't know, what do you think? What do you think about that? Drones?
Well,
would you trust it?
It wouldn't surprise me. I was in Benidorm on the weekend, and we were served by a robot.
Really?
This is in Tapas Alley.
A robot serving tapas. Oh, that's weird. But yeah, drone. I mean, these are vertical takeoff and landing drones. Going to be doing shuttle services from Marbella to Malaga to Marbella, and they're starting testing. Well, they've started testing this month, and they reckon they'll have the service in production, full service, by the end of 2026. They'll be doing a shuttle service on these drones. Wow, there you go. So I've got Paul Burt from Indalo Transport and Storage in the show with me today, live here in the studio. So Paul, we got a question in the comments asking about, can I drive my own van over from, I presume it's UK to Spain, and with all my own stuff in it? Well, you can, but it's probably a bit stressful, don't you think?
Well, this is Declan's asking the question. I'm assuming Declan's not coming from Ireland and is from the UK. Of course you can. We live in a free society. You can move your own stuff if you want to. It's the hassles that go with it, and you and I were talking off air a few moments ago about the hassles just moving yourself around Almeria over the last few years. So if you think about driving 2,500 kilometres, the hassles involved in that. yeah, you can do it, but you've still got to go through the process that a professional removal company goes through. You need to make sure that your goods are packed properly. You don't want to break anything. You need to make sure that you abide by all the laws, the regulations, if you know them. If you've got your own van, you probably don't know that if you fill it, it's going to be overweight. A typical 3.5 ton van, and I'm talking about a Transit, Luton, Sprinter, that sort of thing. If it's half full of furniture, it's overweight, and if you get stopped coming down through France or coming off the ferry, you're going to get weighed. If you're overweight, what will happen is that you'll be told you have to shift that weight, so you have to empty stuff onto the roadside and carry on your way and leave half your furniture behind.
Actually, Paul, my brother moved in the UK. This was from one part of the UK to the other, actually from Brighton up to the Midlands, and the company that he paid to do his removals had a big van. I think it was a Luton truck or something, and they had overloaded it a little bit, and they said, "That's all right, put it in, it'll be okay." And they got stopped literally 10 minutes up the road, and they were told that they had to get another van, and it delayed them about 4 hours of getting the stuff to his house. 4 hours, and they were fined as well for being overloaded. So you need to make sure you're right with the weight on that, I presume.
Well, if you imagine if you've come from Birmingham and you've come across on the ferry or through the tunnel and you get stopped just south of Paris, the same scenario.
Could cost you a lot of money.
It's going to cost you a hell of a lot of money. It's going to cost you twice as much as it was costing you in the first place.
So Declan can do that. It's not a problem, but he would need to be careful with the tax declaration paperwork. That's something you could do. You need to get that sorted out, wouldn't he?
You still have to make a customs declaration. People think that just because you're driving your own goods, your own belongings in your own vehicle to a different country, you can get away without customs. There's a misunderstanding that if you've owned them for 6 months, you don't pay any tax. You have to make a customs declaration, and you will pay tax on the declared value of your goods, and it's the declared value which is the key thing. We make Indalo Transport make a customs declaration to the Spanish Hacienda, and we use pre-agreed figures, and taxes are paid at nominal rates. I've had an email from your friend and mine, the assessors, and basically they've got a problem here where somebody came in via Santander 6 months ago, I beg your pardon. They were presented with a tax bill of €500. That bill now has to be paid, and they're trying not to pay it. Well, it has to be paid. Simple as that. You spend all this time and money and effort going through police checks and getting visas and everything else. The last thing you want to do is the first thing you do, and that's commit tax fraud by trying to smuggle goods into the country. And
as we said earlier, if you've got to declare the price of your value of your goods and that, tell them it's old stuff and undervalue it a little bit. Not say it's an old heirloom, it's worth a fortune, because you ended up paying more tax on it.
If it's your own goods, then you really can undervalue it. We actually value things as if they've been bought at a car boot sale.
Yeah, good advice. Okay, so it's time for Artist of the Week now.
The Artist of the Week, sponsored by The New Bar International and Something Special in Touré.
Tears for Fears there, Head Over Heels. That's Artist of the Week here on Almeria Radio. You're listening to The Right Way with me, David Wright, here on Almeria Radio 107.5 FM, and I've got Paul in the studio with me from Indalo Transport and Storage. And Paul, so how long have you been in Spain then?
I've actually been in Spain 9 years this month.
Wow, that's good, isn't it? And no going back, I suppose. You never thought about going back at all at any time?
No, not even to watch Bristol Rovers.
I still got a football team. Actually, somebody said to me the other day from Brighton, they said Brighton are doing pretty well. I don't know, I don't follow it, but they never did any good when I was there, but maybe they're doing better now.
yeah, I've been there many times.
Right, we're back in with Paul after this. So we got a question in the comments from Chris Lovelace. Maybe you can answer that, Paul?
I'll try. So what Chris has asked is, could you tell me a rough removal price for a Luton size van from Canterbury to Almeria? I realise costs will vary from person to person. It's really difficult because a Luton size van, there's several sizes of Luton van, and any price depends on what the actual removal involves, what sort of furniture, what weight, how many men we need to provide, that sort of thing. So it's really, really difficult. I can give you some information. The best thing I can do is to refer you to the website, which is indalotransport.com, and if you press the button which says "Give me a quote," put in the address details. That way we can check access, and then I can probably give you a rough idea of costs. It's really difficult just based on one van size from A to B.
Okay, brilliant. And Chris, if you want more information, remember in the comments section, just scroll down there. There's Paul's details there, and also go over to his website, and you can find all the information. Remember, over on my website, that's davidwrightonline.com information page, and Paul does give free quotes, so go and check it out. He's the man to see. Okay, so Paul, this one here, I made a bit of a mess of it last time. It's Big Country. Just tell us why this is a good song for you.
I love the song. I remember way back in the 80s, but there's a couple of lyrics in there. I'm not expected to grow flowers in the desert, which is very apt in our Maria.
Yeah.
But just to live and breathe and see the sun in winter time.
Oh, that's lovely, yeah. And hopefully this is the right version now.
David Wright. Help and advice for living and working in Spain. You're listening to The Right Way. The Right Way with David Wright.
It's Friday. And that Friday feeling, getting you into the mood for the weekend.
Very good afternoon to Lorraine, joined us in the comment section. Hi there. And I'm live here with my sponsor of my show, Paul from Indalo Transport and Storage. Now, Paul, we were talking about tips and advice on moving and transport and things like that. And it's sometimes, you think it's expensive to get a company to transfer your stuff over, paying for a van and whatever and all the removals. But, I've done 7 moves here in total now in my 23 years almost here in Spain. And I said the last time, never again. I always say that, but it's definitely the last time. And it can be a lot of stress. And sometimes, you're saving some money, but, that stress involved to do it. And it's better to just pay somebody that's doing it properly, sit there and watch them do it, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm bound to say yes. And I'm just looking at Jono from Lost G said he hired a 7.5 ton van 18 years ago and moved everything. I'm not too sure you could do that now with the problems with insurances and different driving licenses and stuff now. Yeah,
the hire companies don't like you taking the vehicles out of Spain, especially for moving, long distance, things like that. So that could be a bit of a problem nowadays. But sometimes somebody said to me the other day, what do you bring, what do you leave behind? That's always a difficult one. But, I always say to people, make sure you try and be hard on yourself. If you haven't used that thing that is so desperate to bring over with you, if you haven't used it for a year, then you don't need it. Clothing, like a piece of equipment, stuff like that. And also electrical appliances here in Spain. They're much cheaper here in Spain, easy to get hold of, and probably better quality. There's, everything you can get here in Spain does work properly. I know people say they bring the TV over, I'm not sure if it'll work, but the TVs here aren't expensive here in Spain, and you can get all the makes and models. It's better to bring to buy stuff here rather than pay to have it shipped over. It's old stuff anyway. I always say, be hard on yourself, throw it away or sell it, get rid of it, come over here and then buy new. That's my opinion. What do you reckon on that, Paul?
I would agree entirely with you. There's without trying to flog our website to death, but on our website, indalotransport.com, there is a free European removal guide, and in that you can download it. There are numerous checklists, and what you've just said is part of the big advice that we give there is be ruthless, and look to give things to charity shops, look to sell things off if you can, make life easier for yourself.
Yeah, and we've got a question there from Declan as well. Do you collect from Scotland?
We collect from anywhere. It's not a problem. We can, and even if I can't get one of our trucks to some far-flung part of the world, then I can get somebody else to collect it. We're part of a group of 250 independent removal companies, so there's always somebody we can do it. He also asks, how long does it take to get it all across? Well, there is a customs procedure to go through. That can in itself take 15 days, but we try and work on a 3-week window. So if we collect something from somewhere, then we'll try and get it to Spain, to where it's meant to go within 3 weeks. It's not often that we let people down. It might be 4 weeks, but it would all be agreed as we go through the process.
Okay, brilliant. And Declan, remember, scroll down in the comment section. There's the details there to Indalo Transport. They give you a free quote.
Stay tuned in for more of their biggest hits. Almeria Radio.
107.5 FM. This is Almeria Radio, sponsored by Albox Insurance. Award-winning agents with offices in Albox, Oaxaca and San Juan.
Live.
David Wright. David Wright. David.
The Afternoon Show.
You're listening to The Right Way, Almeria Radio 107.5 FM with me, David Wright, and Paul Burt from Indalo Transport and Storage, giving you some tips and advice on moving to Spain. And it's a very, very hot day out there today. I think they forecast 38 degrees tomorrow, so it's going to be a scorcher. But it's a bit overcast, and it's a bit like having a hot hairdryer in your face out there at the moment. Aircon's on upstairs, trying to clean the pool out of that red dust. Have you had that red dust where you are? It's awful, isn't it? And yeah, the sun's a little bit hazy at the moment, so maybe this will bring it back.
Ain't no sunshine when...
Bill Withers there, Ain't No Sunshine. And right after my show today, we've got Rob Mack. You're listening to The Right Way with me, David Wright, and I've got Paul Burt from Indalo Transport and Storage. Now, I did go up to your studios, your workshops, Paul, a little while ago now, I think it was, wasn't it? A couple of months ago, maybe, and did some videos there. So you can come and check that out. You can see the videos I did with Paul there. You can see his business. You can see the shops there, the storage units, and all his vehicles as well. If you want to go and see the video on that, just go over to my page. That's davidwrightonline.com and click the information page, and you can see the video there I did with Paul, see exactly what you're getting for your money. So Paul, you do free quotes for people, as we said before, and there's a link over in the comment section now if people want to get in touch with you. And also you've got a banner advert with Almeria Radio if people just need to click on that. And your website, Paul, just tell us again the website address.
indalotransport.com, and then you've got various links there. You can go on the blog section, but you can link into Indalo Storage for local removals, national removals. You can follow us on Facebook, Indalo Storage, and Facebook, Indalo Transport. And
at your storage unit, Paul, you store people's belongings there for a while if they're coming over, they're not coming over, I'm in an hour in midway sort of thing. You've got some big storage pods, is it called pods?
Yeah, we call them Indalo pods. Basically, we offer a 3-month storage for anybody moving on an international removal. Yeah, and it's a huge, dry warehouse.
And it's not just, we're talking about international moves, Paul, but you know, if people are here in Spain like myself, I've moved here 6 times now in Spain over the years. You know, if people want to move from one place to the other, you do local removals as well.
Yeah, we do. We most people in and around Oaxaca, Vera, Arbelayas will know us. They see the vans all the time. But yeah, in the last couple of weeks we've been moving people from Malaga, Archidona, into Oaxaca, and we've been all over the place. And today we've just negotiated a huge move going from Huerca to Galicia. So yeah, we're national and international and local.
Brilliant, thanks, Paul. We go together. Well, that's just about it for another show. I'm going to play you out now with a bit of mariachi, Antonio Banderas, and it's goodbye from me and goodbye from Paul.
Yep, goodbye. Thank you, David.
Good to have you in the studio. Some great tips from Paul. And if you want any more information, tips, or a free quote, go to see Paul at Indalo Transport. And his comments, his details are in the comment section now, or the banner advert here on Almeria Radio. Thanks for listening. Have a great weekend. You've been listening to The Right Way with me, David Wright, Almeria Radio 107.5 FM. Have a great weekend. See you next week.
That's all, folks.